Okay, Greenland. Let's talk about Greenland. Trump announces framework for Greenland deal. Won't say if U.S. ownership still needed. Okay, so check this out. When they're going through this, the position changed a few times at Davos. Okay, but here's the president with a tweet based upon a very productive meeting I had with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte. We have formed the framework of a future deal with respect of Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1st. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. Further information will be made available as discussion progresses, and he's got the rest that's there. This was a topic of discussion, Rob. I don't know what clips you have on this. From Davos, there was multiple conversations. So, you know, is this him talking about it?
This is him explaining why we need Greenland because of what happened in World War II.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
We saw this in World War II when Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting and was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled, we did it, we felt an obligation to do it, to send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory. And hold it we did, at great cost and expense. They didn't have a chance of getting on it, and they tried. Denmark knows that. We literally set up bases on Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting to save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. But we saved Greenland and successfully prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now, you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now? So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about.
Okay, Tom, I'm going to come to you first. Your thoughts on this and the advancement they're making.
So he's making a very good point. And by the way, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. The reason you're not hearing hard criticism from Department of Defense in Germany and in the UK, because those are anchors of NATO, and they understand what's needed. And by the way, if you take a look at a map and you look where Finland is, Murmansk is right next door to the Finland border, and that is where the USSR, built the base. Now we know it as Russia, but when the Soviet Union and everything was there, these things were built. Murmansk is where all of the nuclear subs are, and it's literally less than 100 miles from the Finland border there. And so you, up at the Arctic Circle. So there is a need, a deep need for Greenland to be positioned and equipped as a strategic defense source. And if you also just look at the map of Greenland, when you talk about a dome for North America, and by the way, NORAD protects Canada and its 2.3 trillion GDP, which is less than half of California, Greenland is an important piece of the North American dome against Russian missiles. And by the way, if you look at the East Coast right by Iceland, look how well that's positioned to help provide defense of missiles and Navy to Northern Atlantic area. You know, Northern Atlantic, as in the Northern Atlantic Treaty Organization known as NATO. This is strategic. And I think that what people need to understand, it's not about the minerals, although they just said that they'd be happy to do a mineral deal yesterday. They said it. There's no argument on that now. It is strategic for defense. And every time there's naval exercises up there, Denmark doesn't have the money to pay for it. So Denmark you know what? The days of colonialism are over. No one's going to militarily take this. We need a deal done for the defense of our hemisphere and to support NATO. And Trump, as a leader, is walking through this mosh pit of criticism from people that are politicizing it, and they're not paying attention to where Russia is and the strategic importance of defending the West.
Vinny.
Well, I sent Rob. Can you put up that chart I sent you on Slack? Look at like this is where Greenland is. It's like the crossroads of North America, Europe, and the Arctic. Tom, you made a great point. They do have like look at where the Russia bases are. There's a Pituffik space base right there. This is, and by the way, the melting ice is opening the shorter Asia-Europe shipping routes. So it's boosting the region's military and economic importance. But look, it's missile early warning systems. You nailed it. It's about deterrence. It's about supply chain security. And listen, I want a president that's going on offense. We're not playing defense. He's not sitting around twirling his thumbs. I absolutely love the move. And when you saw that chart that you did earlier, how big of a gap having that. And I love that the news is making like we're going to come in, we're going to invade and take over. No, it's a deal. We need you. You're going to make money. So I think it has to happen. That chart says it all, Tom.
And by the way, that little box there, you've got a great chart you pulled up, Vinny. Thank you for doing this. GEUC, Greenland, Iceland, UK gap. That is incredibly strategic because that's where the nuke subs come and go.
Weird.
And that first dot on the right-hand side, where that arrow comes down,
Yes.
that is Finland-Russia border, and that's Murmansk. And that is the equivalent of their Groton, Connecticut, because that's where we launch all of our nuclear
our
subs from.
Adam.
Yeah, Trump's going to take Greenland. That's all I got to say. I don't know how he's going to do it. I don't know when he's going to do it. I don't know what's going to happen. But much like the Godfather movie, we're going to make him an offer they can't refuse. They're not going to refuse this. How many people live in Greenland? 56,000? That's an NFL Sunday football stadium just emptying out with footballs and pads and just taking over Greenland. Nobody's scared of Greenland. By the way, everyone now has an opinion on Greenland. Trump does these things and makes people, why would we do Greenland? You've never thought of Greenland. You never heard of Greenland. Tell me one artist in Greenland. Tell me that one movie. Tell me one cultural phenomenon that's nobody knows about Greenland. Now, if Trump and grown-ups are saying, we need this land for minerals, for protection, for defense, for blocking China and blocking Russia, we're going to take Greenland. That's it.
Efren, do you have any opinions on this?
Yeah, so I agree with Vinny. We now have a president that's actually looking ahead, decades ahead, versus just the next 4-year terms, right? So I love what he's doing. And like Adam said, if he didn't mention Greenland, no one else would be talking about Greenland.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. And I love the fact that, yesterday he's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, so since we're part of NATO, this invasion that happened at our border, did you guys come and help us out? When everything that's going on with us, did you guys come and support us for anything? Maybe we should have put NATO to the test, invoke Article 5, and force NATO to come here and protect our southern border from further invasion of illegal immigrants, thus freeing up a large number of Border Patrol agents for other tasks. Maybe we should have. What happened? You don't want to do that? Oh, maybe we should leave NATO. Even, there was some talks about what would happen if U.S. left NATO. And they're sitting around saying, no, you can't do that. We need you to protect us. There was the Finland leader is being asked about if Europe can defend itself without America. Look at the answer, folks, and watch how quickly he changes his position. Rob, did we show this on? We haven't shown this yet. Watch this. It's comical what he says 11 minutes later. Go ahead, Rob.
First is a direct answer to the question of this panel: can Europe defend itself? My answer is unequivocally yes.
Without the Americans?
Without the Americans, I mean,
how?
Well, look.
But you're relying on them for these key elements. You've said earlier that Europe can defend itself without the Americans. If it comes down...
not exact, Mike, so that's not a quote. Yes, it is.
More or less, more or less.
Let's.
We'll go back to the transcript.
Let's stick to the left in this one, huh?
More or less.
11 minutes later. I love journalists. You don't need journalists. Can you imagine somebody texted him and says, hey, just so you know, we're screwed if America doesn't protect us.
Yep.
Change your tone ASAP, right? Efren, maybe take a minute here and share with the audience how you ended up being on the podcast.
So it was during Christmas, like you said, and I was gonna buy the merch anyway, so I ended up buying 2 pairs of the shoes, and then also the sales classes. I saw a massive discount, so I purchased that, and I actually love what you guys do on the emails. I still get emails right now saying you have not started the courses.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So when are you starting them?
Well, because right now my goal is to improve communication,
Yep.
so I'm taking the course for that.
Good.
Once that's completed, then I'll jump to that
I
course.
love it. So it's actually following up with you to make sure
Yes,
you do it.
love it.
Well, good for the team. Good for you for doing that. When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.